This news update is brought to you by...
They ask us how we do it, how we outrun the world. They ask us, how does it feel to fly? How do we dive headfirst into the deep? And emerge victorious. They ask us if we're afraid, if we're nervous, or if we ever feel lonely, so far away from home. But the truth is, home is always right here with us. Get ready to witness the magic of the Olympic Games like never before.
It's Tuesday, August 9, and time for the Barbados Today afternoon update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. We begin with news that the 66-year-old male passenger who caused the scare on board Air Canada flight 1966 to Barbados on June 15 is now back in the care of relatives. Barbados Today understands that Barbadian-born Rodney Powlett, who was under medical observation at the psychiatric hospital since the incident occurred, was released in the custody of police late last week and subsequently returned to his family. He did not face any criminal charges. During the 5-hour flight from Toronto, Powlett, who was returning to the island to attend the funeral service of a relative, started to display some strange behavior, including idle threats. He was restrained, and handed over to police on arrival at the Grantley Adams International Airport. In other news, it's day 2 of protest action by the Barbados Union of Teachers. The BUT, led by Pedro Shepherd, yesterday made it clear that it will remain on the picket line until officials from the Ministry of Education effectively handle the situation pertaining to the docking of teachers' pay. The union is adamant that deductions of salaries of teachers who attended 2 union meetings earlier this year were unfair. Speaking on another issue, Shepherd maintained that teachers cannot take the blame for poor results from this year's 11th plus exams. Instead, he suggests that the education system needs overhauling.
No one can blame teachers for any poor results. Teachers work extremely hard with students. Teachers give extra lessons, whether it is for pay or it is free. But teachers work extremely hard. The teachers go to the schools during the Easter holiday. They do mock exams. They put the children through all the necessary drills. So I am saying that the teachers of Barbados cannot and should not take any blame for any poor results in Barbados. What we have is a system that needs retrofitting. And if we can retrofit the system of allocation to secondary schools in Barbados, then things might be better. We either go full zoning or we do no zoning at all. We either develop schools of excellence in certain areas, maybe in the heart of Bridgetown where everybody can access, and then you just go to the school next door, feed the school system. Something we have to do, but the system needs overhauling.
National Housing Corporation planner Raymond Lord says there is an urgent need for development of proper housing in Bridgetown. Lord made a call last night during a lecture on growth and development in urban Barbados at the Bridge Street office of the Urban Development Commission as part of the department's 19th anniversary celebrations. He said a major problem is that only government is showing any interest in Bridgetown, while the private sector invests only in shops and office spaces.
Government is the only entity so far has invested in housing in the city and getting licks for it. London Born, the towers, the other ones at Country Road, Ponside, Passage Road. They're the only major investor in housing in the city, in a modern 20th century city, 21st century city. Okay? The public sector, the private sector does not invest in housing in the city. They invest in shops, which is important, and office buildings, hoping that some person will give them a rental. There are significant derelict or delay sites in the urban area. These could be acquired or leased and used to build the housing stock. The private sector must begin to see high-quality urban housing as a viable investment option. And we need to find a source of funds and ideas. I should put out ideas to fix areas such as Greenfield and Castle as a moment of urgency. These weak areas in town.
Meantime, he makes it clear that the city is not dead, but there is a need to pay attention to night entertainment.
Bridgetown is not dying. You just don't understand what's going on in Bridgetown. Towns operate on two economies. You have the daytime economy, nighttime economy. The daytime economy is retail and, you know, cafe shepherd and all that. The nighttime economy is entertainment, Marhill Street. Marhill Street is alive, all the Nelson Street, Baxter's Road, all the other activities. These are real economies of the city. The problem is that the daytime economy, people have not tapped into it. You know, and then tell about city dying. But there is a major thing, because we have to tackle the number of people living in the city and increase and raise the level of their housing, one. But also, you will see that Bridgetown is a network city. People travel in and out, in and out. You want a way to reduce that.
Parliament this morning paid tribute to the late Sir Frederick Smith. Sir Frederick, a former judge, politician and government minister, passed away at his home on July 11. He was laid to rest last Friday following an official funeral at the James Street Methodist Church. Leading off the tributes this morning for the man affectionately known as Sleepy was Industry Minister Don Valinis.
In the 1950s, Frederick Smith was able to work alongside our Wharton Borough in a court system dominated by white attorneys, carve out a niche for themselves, but more importantly, associate with the masses, be able to give the kind of leadership, guidance, and legal advice to ordinary Barbadians that in turn enamored themselves to these individuals and was able to help them in their quest to become political leaders of Barbados. And that connection must not be lost on any of us today in 2016. And whether it's law or accounting or any other profession, the fact remains is that whatever your chosen field is, you must use it to help to uplift those who are less fortunate than you. I think that's the message that CP was sending forth then, and that to me is the way he lived his entire life.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's Bear Stare News. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20. Who?
Barbados Today. News you can trust.
Regionally, St. Lucia's Transport Minister is looking at the option of implementing highway patrol units on the country's roads as a result of increasing road fatalities and lawlessness. So far this year, the island has recorded some 12 road fatalities, and Guy Joseph believes that having such units will help curb speeding, drunk driving, and general carelessness on the roads. More in this report from HTS News Force.
Transport Minister Guy Joseph says it's a worrying situation for his ministry as these incidents continue despite awareness campaigns and appeals for caution on the country's roads. He says it is sad that all too often drivers ignore pleas for adherence to the rules of the road.
Over the years, even when I served on the Road Transport Board, no matter how many programs you implement, you continue to have these problems. I think one of the things we would want to see introduced in the not too distant future would be a few highway patrol vehicles, because it should not be a situation where somebody can drive between Castries and Viewport or Castries Grosile and not find a single police vehicle on the road as dedicated traffic vehicles to deal with the way that people drive on the roads.
On the international scene, 50 Republican national security experts say nominee Donald Trump would be the most reckless president in U.S. history. They made their position clear in an open letter to the nation. The group, which includes the former CIA Director Michael Hayden, said Trump lacks the character, values, and experience to be president. In response, Trump dismissed the 50, saying they were part of a failed Washington elite looking to hold on to power. More in this report from the CNN.
They are former national security officials who've served in Republican administrations, from Richard Nixon to George W. Bush. And in their letter to the nation, they say none of them will vote for Donald Trump. From a foreign policy perspective, the former officials write, Donald Trump is not qualified to be president and commander-in-chief. Indeed, we are convinced that he would be a dangerous president and would put at risk our country's national security and well-being. Signing on to the letter, first reported by the New York Times, former director of the CIA Michael Hayden, former Homeland Security Secretaries Michael Chertoff and Tom Ridge, and the former director of National Intelligence John Negroponte. Ridge has been blunt about Trump in the past.
How the hell can he be a commander-in-chief when he says POWs are not heroes? And then you go the whole Muslim, and every Muslim's a potential terrorist.
The bombshell letter is hitting Trump's campaign just as it was looking for a reboot, with a speech designed to jumpstart both the nation's economy and his battle against Hillary Clinton.
And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn to continue to enjoy your day.